Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm LJ if you're new here. So if you haven't already read by the title, today we're creating this look. This is a 30-minute glam makeup tutorial. So it's a full coverage makeup look, but it still looks like, I don't want to say natural because this is not natural, okay? But it's more so still giving me breathable vibes, and it's also giving me like realistic vibe. So we're going for like a full coverage but not too much. We're not caking up today. So yeah, I'll be creating this look. So if you're interested, go ahead and grab some makeup, some tea, whatever you want, and let's plan some makeup. And if you haven't already subscribed and joined the LJ family, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and also hit the post notification bell. I'm always here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. Welcome to a YouTube.
So today's video is a 30-minute glam. So I'm just going to be doing a very quick full coverage makeup look because I am going to take pictures. So I just wanted to sit down and do my makeup, and this should be quick because I'm running on a timeline here. It's been a while I've done actually just like a sit down, get ready with me. I've been doing like reviews, and actually that's cap because I just recently did one. Disregard what I just said. I'm starting off with primer. I'm using the NYX Professional Bear With Me Sunscreen Primer. I am going to be outside. I want to apply this primer for extra protection. So I also want my skin to be nice and moisturized because I am going in with a matte foundation. So for my T-zone area, I've been really loving this CoverFx Mattifying Booster Drops. This has been really good for my T-zone area. I love this because it's not like so mattifying. It doesn't even feel like it's mattifying my skin or drying out my skin. So I also think it's really nice for dry combination skin. So I'm placing it only on my T-zone area because that's the area that I usually get oily. And nowadays with primer, I like using a beauty blender and just kind of like blending the primer out. I feel like doing this kind of presses the primer onto your skin, and it really helps prevent the makeup from clogging your pores. So for foundation today, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Foundation in the shade 420. This is like my go-to foundation if I want to do like a really full coverage beat, but I don't want to put on like a full coverage foundation. This would be my go-to foundation. Now I'm gonna blend this out with the beauty blender. So how have you guys been? Let me know in the comments down below. I literally woke up this morning with a lot of energy, like, I don't know, out of nowhere. So I decided to go running, and I think I'm gonna start running like almost every day because I think that it clears my mind. So it gives me like more energy throughout the day for whatever reason. I never actually thought running could give you energy, but I think it's really good because it just helps clear my mind and it helps me get ready for the day. And yeah, so I woke up early in the morning, I went running, and it just felt like, it felt really refreshing. I'm typically not the person who likes cardio or running or anything like that, but I think it has more benefits for me mentally than anything else. All right, so now I'm gonna apply concealer. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. All the products will be linked in the description box down below as usual. So in case you wanna check out like the shade names and things like that, because I get a lot of questions about that, but sometimes I leave it in the description box. So as usual, I'm placing this on the inner portion and outer part of my eye. And even though we're going for a full coverage look, I don't like placing too much concealer. So I'm just using a very small amount, and this concealer is full coverage. I don't want to put too much. And I'm just gonna use the beauty blender, but I'm using the pointed side and blend this out. I remember when I used to let my concealer like settle into my skin a little bit longer. That was helpful, but what you can do instead of that is just literally lightly tap on the concealer. Don't completely blend it out, just lightly tap on it. I think that has the same effect than just like, you know, letting it sit for long. And you want to make sure that your beauty blender is not like too damp, because if it's too damp, it has too much water, it's going to absorb a majority of the product. All right, so for contour today, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Putty bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. I like this as a contour, so I'm gonna use this BH Cosmetics brush that I usually use for contour to just sculpt my skin, bring back that dimension. I'm also placing some on my jawline. I love this bronzer bronzer. Basically a contour. I like this because it's closer to my skin color. So it's not like OD, you know, it's very natural. So I'm looking for something natural as well, something also sheer. So because it's buildable, it's like really going nicely with that foundation. And then I'm gonna use this bronzer to sculpt my nose. And then using the sponge that I used for concealer, I'm gonna go over that to blend it out, make it look nice and seamless so you don't see the lines. And there's so many different ways you can do your nose contour. I think it all depends on the shape of your nose. I haven't done a video on that because I feel like a lot of people's noses are different. I think that one is a little bit harder to kind of teach somebody how to contour their nose because not everybody got the same nose, you know what I'm saying? All right, so now time to set the skin, and I'm gonna use the McGrath Labs setting powder in the shade medium 3. And the reason why I want to use this setting powder is because I've used a full coverage concealer. Sometimes I don't like using full coverage concealers with full coverage setting powders, just too much. So I'm using this Pat McGrath one because it's very sheer, very natural, and I love the finish as well. And I'm also placing a little bit for reverse contour because we also have to set that. And that just intensifies the contour a little bit. So after applying that, because I'm so extra, I'm gonna go in with another setting powder. This is a loose finishing setting powder, so that's gonna kind of help my under eyes look nice and smooth. And this is really nice for mature skin, but I like to use it just for that extra smooth texture under my eyes. And this is optional, you don't have to do this. If you don't like too much setting powder, don't do it. This shade is also the shade medium deep as well, so it's almost the same color as the Pat McGrath. All right, so now it's time to apply bronzer, and I'm gonna use the Revolution Pro bronzer. And with this bronzer, I always go in with a lot and forget how pigmented it is. So this time I'm actually remembering that it's a very pigmented bronzer, so I just need to tap a little bit on there and just sculpt. I'm also sculpting my jawline as well, so it looks nice and natural. Alright, so I just went ahead and did my eyebrows. I already have an eyebrow tutorial, so it's basically the same thing. I used the Anastasia brow pen, which is what I usually use to do my eyebrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on eyeshadow. And for today's eyeshadow palette, we're using the Huda Beauty Obsessions palette. So this one is the Amethyst Obsessions palette. I haven't really used so many of these Obsessions palettes, so I saw this and I was like, ooh, this looks nice. I already know what kind of look I'm going for. I want to do something mauve-y, so that's usually like my everyday glam. So I'm going to use this color right here, which is that deep purple shade. Picking this up with the M506 brush and placing it on my crease. And I'm starting by packing the shade, so I feel like it brings more pigmentation. And then I'm gonna use this shade right here, which is a pinky shade. I'm gonna use that to blend out the purple shade. This palette is actually really pigmented. It's not shocking because it's Huda, but sometimes the palettes be a little bit ashy, but this looks really nice. So I'm going back in with that purple shade and I'm placing a little bit more. All right, so next I'm gonna pick up this shade right here and using the M456 brush, I'm gonna place that on my eyelid. All right, so for the bottom, I'm gonna start off with this pink shade and I'm gonna buff that away from my lash line just a little bit. And we're gonna put the darker shade on the inner portion. So I said I was gonna do mauve, but it looks like it's purple. All right, so using this purple shade, I'm gonna place that on the inner portion. And then for the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. So I'm just gonna blend it out. All right, so I popped some lashes on. I went with like a full type of lash. I wanted like big fluffy lashes for this full glam. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my face. For blush, I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Lucky. And I'm gonna place this blush at the back of my hand first because it is a full pigmented blush. And I'm going to use the Morphe E4 brush and just collect a little bit of that and build up the pigment. And because this is a liquid blush, I'm going to use the beauty blender that I used for the setting powder. And I'm just going to quickly go over that so it doesn't look oily or anything. And then also this is going to help diffuse that blush so it blends in with the setting powder. And taking a little bit at the back of the beauty blender, I'm just going to pop that right there. And then I'm going to apply highlighter, and for highlighter, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Freestyle highlighter in the shade Moscow Mule. And then for my lips, I'm going to line my lips with the Colourpop lip liner in the shade Pitch. And then for lipstick, I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani lipstick in the shade Lip Mastro. And this is a nice mauve type of lip. On top of the lip, I'm going to use a little bit of translucent setting powder. And I'm just going to place that on top of this lip to mattify it a little bit. So here we have it with this 30-minute glam makeup tutorial. So ultimately, I went with a purple eyeshadow and a mauve lip. So I was trying to do mauve with my eyes so it can match my lips. But this is not bad. I honestly really like this. I think this is perfect for a date night or like a full glam type of makeup look. Took me longer than 30 minutes though, okay, to be honest. But if I was like literally just focusing and doing my makeup, it would take me like 30 minutes. So it's not like too much coverage, doesn't give too much coverage because I'm balancing like the foundation with the concealer and the setting powder. I'm not going in with all full coverage type of products, even though I could. But to be honest, I like it to still look a little bit natural and a little bit more of my skin color. But yeah, that's it. This is how the makeup look turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a big thumbs up on this video because it helps your girl out. And also, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and join the LJ family by hitting the subscribe button down below, and also hit the post notification bell so you're always updated when I upload a new video. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. You better subscribe, got it on lock, yeah. Got it on lock, yeah. We need more likes, more views, yeah. You can leave a comment too. Welcome to our YouTube. Welcome to our YouTube.